Greetings, it's Eric back of the Naturopath. Thanks for coming back. Candida products, can they be taken even after your Candida has cleared up? If you've got no more yeast-related issues, if you've got rid of that, for example, do you still take Candida? Or if you've got another health problem, how does it go? Do you sort of like stop taking it when the Candida goes? Well, as I've mentioned in many previous videos, you need to be very careful with Candida and not be complacent. Okay, it's not quite like COVID-19 where you get like this second wave kind of thing, but what does happen with so many people with a yeast problem, and I'll tell you this, I've seen this 100 times or more, I would say 1,000 times or more, that people finally start working on a program that's successful, they're getting better, they're improving, okay? But when they get to a point where they feel good, they stop treatment. Now, that's okay in some situations, but in many instances, the person will get a setback, okay? At that point, when they stop the treatment, often they will start changing their diet back to the norm again. The supplements will stop. The stress levels, are still there, but they'll start slowly going up. And then over a transition period of 2, 3, 4 months, the person slowly slides back into the same state they were before they started treatment. And that's when they start getting anxiety, depression. They start thinking, I'm never going to get better, I'm always going to be sick. Then they go to a doctor or another doctor, or they go to Google, they go to whatever. They take all kinds of advice. Next thing they're on half a dozen different programs, they're detoxing, they're doing this or that. And they feel sick, they crash again. What concerns me most about these cases is the mindset. The person can get very depressed, can get very anxious, can get very emotional. And at that kind of a state, when they're in that stage, they become vulnerable for other people to say, come on, you haven't got Candida. This is a crap diagnosis. You've got XYZ that I found on Google or whatever. You need to go to a real doctor, or you need to get on real medications, so you can get a real cure. All this sort of crap. I hear this, I've heard this so many times. And then eventually, within 6 months or a year, the person's back on my doorstep again, looking for treatment. So then we start all over again. And I've seen this so many times. So the point I'm trying to make here is you need to be careful, all right? I don't care what products people take, to be honest. I really couldn't care less. As long as they take something that's highly effective and they take it for a period of time, they tailor off that dosage, but they stay on the product for a wee while yet, maybe another 2 months, maybe another 3 months, maybe another 6 months, particularly if they've been sick for a long time. Now, some patients I've seen have been sick for 5 or 10 years. You can't expect a product to work in, say, 3 or 4 weeks and then you don't need it anymore. It doesn't work like that, all right? So once you've been on a program and the program's worked for you, at least you've worked out that the products are effective in your situation. What you can do then is back off the dosage, go down to a low maintenance dosage and stay on that for a while. Now, what I mean by a while is you need to get other things sorted. You need to be sure that your lifestyle and diet are commensurate with, not just the level of improvement, but to take you out of that disease state back into a very high functioning state of health again. Now, that varies from person to person. Some people can acquire a very high state of health within 3 to 6 months. Others, it can take 2 years. It depends a lot on the type of person that you are. It depends on your job, the people around you. Many aspects will make up that. So, but it's perfectly fine to stay on the Candida products for a while after, as you're going through the recovery phase, and a little bit more. Don't be quick to stop, all right? I've been told by many expert people who are way more expert than me that the last product you stop, the last product you stop is the probiotic. And many people will just take a probiotic for a month or two and they'll stop. So the probiotic, the Candida Restore, should be the last product that you finish up with, ideally. Candida Remove, you can take 1 per day for 6 months. It's not a problem. It's not going to harm you or affect you badly, but it's going to help to keep that noise in the gut down. So it's going to keep a lot of bacteria and fungi at bay while you're going through transition. So let me explain that again. You go through a treatment phase, the treatment phase, it starts tailoring down, and then you can go on a little bit of a maintenance phase for a few weeks or a few months. That's especially relevant if you've been sick for a long time. Okay, treatment, maintenance, slowly tailor that off, and then you're finished. Okay, and that's what I think is the best situation. All right? That kind of a protocol works very well for people who really want to recover, deep-seated, who've been sick for a long time. Give it a go. Thanks for tuning in.